welcome, Billy.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Yes, we're so excited because, Billy, you are a man who's so disciplined, and I admire you for that. You also helped me through my battle of cancer, stay focused and go back and exercise. And
Yes.
I've always been like, okay, what can I do to improve my health and focus on eating healthy and doing all those things. But sometimes it's so hard for us, especially as moms or dads who are running, trying to get kids to school, or we're trying to get to work. And instead of making a healthy meal in the morning, we might run through fast food or something and get the junk food.
Yes, yes.
What did you call that?
Well,
You told me not to get what?
well, the thing is that you want to always follow a good routine. You always want to get your nutrition in, and the fast food, the quick gratification, it brings you up and you crash. So you want something that's going to sustain you, and basically you can apply that to every situation in life. You decide. It's discipline. Discipline is everything. You decide on what you want to do. You say you're on the go, like you say you're on the go. You're running on the go. Well, think there's always a healthy alternative. Basically, you can apply that to every. Yes, it's always a healthy alternative. Everybody thinks the convenience store is a convenience store. Yes, but you remember every place nowadays also with the health push and with every store carrying the alternative. You can find it at every restaurant. You can go in that convenience store and say, instead of a Coke, you can get a protein shake. You can get a piece of fruit. It's the choices you make, and you can do that anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It's just the discipline to make those choices, to decide on, hey, think about your health, think about your goals, and think about what's going to fuel you the right way.
Yeah, and we're always talking. I mean, I know that it's so hard because we want this really fast, because we're hungry in the morning. First thing we wake up, we're like, okay, I need my coffee to wake up, but then you start feeling hungry. And so you want to just really quick drive by a fast food restaurant and grab, whatever you decide to grab. But is that really going to help you throughout the rest of the morning, or is it going to slow you down? And so always be careful what you're choosing in the mornings. It might help you for an hour, 2 hours, but then later you're going to be hungry again. All you might be putting in the morning is sugar, so it's going to pump you up for a couple of hours, but then after those hours you're going to be hungry again, and you're going to be back to zero with just a bunch of sugar, right? And your body's going to be craving it.
Exactly.
So Mike, talk to us about that, because you were I love the way when you were in track, you always reminded me of that. Mom, I can't eat that. Make me something else.
Yeah.
And you would make me, or you taught me to make things a little bit healthier, because I was making things the way I grew up, typical eggs and toast, but those are not necessarily always the best meals.
Well, don't get eggs wrong, because eggs are good. Those are high in protein and high in all the some of the fatty acids and stuff that you need. But yeah, bread. I mean, all right. Let's just start off with the fast food thing. So fast food, it's funny because your body actually reminds you, like it recognizes that it's not necessarily good for you all the time, because you're putting all those preservatives into your body and stuff like that. But you can recognize it's called short-term gratification, right? You take that bite of that burger that you just got from Mickey D's, and you feel this short-term gratification. You feel gratified for a short period of time, and then what happens after you finish that whole big old burger? Then your stomach is like, whoa, like why did you do that to me? Yeah, but whenever you eat clean and you eat like the proper nutrition, then your body will remind you, wow, I feel good, I'm full of energy, I'm ready to go. So that's a big thing, and that I wanted to mention. But,
listening to your body is probably one of the most important key elements. Your body will tell you what it likes and what it doesn't like. When you start getting tummy aches, when you start getting headaches, when you start getting stressed, even stress is also caused by certain foods or lack of foods. So be very careful to choose wisely your food and the food you're electing. But also it has to be, let's talk about another short-term gratification, which is
Cell phones.
Cell phone.
Yeah.
So Mark wants to tell you about that.
That's a
because
big one.
I'm so proud of him for saying that, because for years, you know, we always got him and his sister the latest phones and the latest gadgets and everything. And
Yeah.
I was so I try to get you guys to be so disciplined. I remember when we would come to the table, I was like, phones have to be away, put away.
Mm-hmm.
Now as adults, we don't do it as much. Which we're
Yeah.
trying to go back to that. Even now, he's the one that keeps us in shape. He's like, Mom, Alexis, put away the phone, so we're gonna be sitting here and eating.
Yeah, I
Which
mean, I
love.
cannot deny that I'm guilty as well. You know, we're all kind of guilty of you know, looking at our phones a little too often, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But yeah, the cell phone thing. I noticed today. I was in class and my phone died. Right? Oh no, the phone died. Right? So I put it on the charger in the corner of the room, and I noticed something. You know, I'm a social person. You know, I'm not always relying to the cell phone, but I had no opportunity to go to my cell phone as a short-term gratification, because a lot of us, we hide behind this shield, aka our cell phones, right? We hide behind it. Oh, maybe not us, but a lot of people nowadays, they resort to their cell phones. They don't even talk to their families because they're like on their cell phone. And I realized today, when I didn't have my cell phone, I was more prone to not going to that cell phone, and rather I was talking to my buddy instead. You know, just talking about, you know, that's like the little things in life that you should actually enjoy. You know, rather than being on the cell phone, and you know, that's a big thing missing that we miss out because of our cell phones.
Yeah, that's right. And Billy, one of the things I like about you, when you join us for events or we hang out as friends, you always give us 100% of your attention. You're not really with your phone, and I notice sometimes you even leave your phone behind. And you told me that when you go to your other friends' houses and I'm trying to reach you, you're like, hey, I left my phone in the car because I wanted to give total attention to the family I'm with. And I really respect that about you. How do you do it, or what kind of discipline have you done now lately that it forces you to just stick to that routine?
Well, the thing is that before, like I say, with everything, I make a decision even before I take a step. I look at everything almost like I'm building a house. And no matter how small it is, I look like, okay, foundation, the substance, basically like I'm building a house. So when I decide, for instance, to come and have dinner and spend time with you guys, well, to give my full attention and make sure everybody's okay, make sure everything's taken care of, I don't need that distraction. That can wait. And in other words, when I made that decision to spend that time with you guys, that's it. Whatever else is that's can wait. That's on the back burner. So basically, priorities.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing. I decided what's a priority. What is most important to least important? Well,
Yes.
when I'm spending time with you and your family, this is least important. The people that I want to communicate with are already in front of me, so I don't need this. This is just a distraction. So the people that I need to convey my time is in front of me. So what's the point of this?
Yeah, and you bring a very important point. When we don't prioritize and give value to the people that we're around, what kind of message are we sending them? So be very careful. I actually get offended when I go out to dinner with even my girlfriends, close girlfriends, and they're just like texting and cannot leave the phone down. And it's kind of like, I feel like I'm not important. Like they're just like ignoring me. So I totally agree with that. And with your kids, with you're having dinner or you're watching a movie or whatever you're doing, and you are hung to your phone. Number one is telling a lot about you as a family, that you don't really have a lot of discipline because you just stuck to your phone. You're also giving a message to your family that they're not that important to you because you're stuck on your phone. So put those priorities the way they should be. Always, put your family first, and friends, but be careful what you're doing, because those short-term gratifications, you might want to see who's reading your last Facebook message, or who's trying to see your social media or whatever. But are those really important things? Nowadays, we are losing so much quality time with our family, with our friends, because of this technology gadgets that we have.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to
Yes,
add, Mark?
I did. I just wanted to say that I do believe in cell phones, but I do not believe in the addiction to the cell phones, or like letting that obscure your obscuring your times with your family and your friends, and you miss out on opportunities because of it at sometimes. So what I want to say is, use your cell phone as a tool, not necessarily as realize when you have an addiction. So make sure you're using that as a tool for you to grow, not as abusing it. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. And one of the things I also want to say, it has a lot to say about you, who you are as an individual, and what you are doing with or how you're handling the discipline. Are you really being disciplined enough to put down the phone, put it away for a little bit? Or if you're visiting somebody, are you, are you putting them first, or are you putting yourself or your cell phone first? So those are things like Billy said, prioritize smartly, wisely, and show the people you love and that you care for that you're really there.
Yeah, it's a subconscious thing, It may be not necessarily you're trying to be rude, but when somebody sees you on their phone, you're almost less inclined to engage with them because you don't want to disturb this. It's a shield. It's a way that people are comfortable, and it's a way that people are hiding from their problems. They're like, oh, I'm gonna go get entertained by my cell phone instead of talking to my mom about how, hey Ma, we need to start taking the whatever we have to deal with. It's a shield. It's a way to distract yourself. That's really what it is. And that brings me to my next quote. I can say it now, or should I say it in a minute?
I think we can. Do we need to go on a short break?
Okay.
We're gonna have a short break, and we'll be right back having this amazing discussion about short-term gratifications and how to become a little bit more disciplined and more dedicated to the things that really matter in your life.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shine with Marielena Cortez and Mark Sedgwick. I'm here. I'm going to share another quote with you guys that is pertaining to what we just finished off with. An addiction to distraction will be the death of your creative production. So that basically means an addiction to distraction, a.k.a. one of these guys here, that a lot of us kids and adults, sadly adults as well, are addicted to their cell phones, always trying to get this short-term gratification of entertainment, using it as a shield, as I've said, to almost run away from your problems subconsciously. You may not even notice, but if you think about it and dig deep, you will realize that you're actually maybe running away from the problems that you don't want to face head on. So, yeah, Billy,
Yes.
I want to ask you about what you were explaining to me earlier about the cars and the cell phones.
Yes, actually, I usually get up, I look at the news just to see my traffic situation. Well, you hear about the accidents, but also you see so many people on their cell phones getting on the freeway, and the thing is that, they're in a hurry, but if distractions, just imagine if everybody was focused, that'd be far less accidents, far less fatalities on the road. And you see it every day. You see them on their cell phones and through school zones, and you're just thinking to yourself, they're thinking, well, the police is not seeing me, or I'm not being seen. But the point is that you're hurting yourself, because if nobody sees you, that's fine, but then you're putting everybody in danger just because you could get away with it.
Yeah, just because you're addicted to the distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not necessarily the death of your creative production, but it is literally the death of a lot of people, dying from it's almost like drunk driving to a certain point.
Yes, it is.
Because literally, your eyes are literally off the road.
Exactly.
Looking at the phone,
Exactly.
We all are probably guilty of it, but now there's laws in place for that kind of stuff, so that's like a real motivation to just get off that cell phone, right? To save the life, your life, or potentially somebody else's. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to add was also going back to having a short short-term addictions that actually end up hurting us, where we think,
Yes.
oh, it also has to do, it goes back to when we discuss choosing your friends wisely. Sometimes we choose a friend who's popular, who's cool, but we didn't get to know him, so we think it's cool because
Yes.
we're hanging out with them. Make time to really get to know your friends. Just because they look cool or they're popular in school doesn't mean they're always good people or they're making smart choices. So always make time to choose your friends wisely and not get into that short-term gratification where like, yeah, I'm cool because I'm hanging out with so-and-so. Stop, think, and choose your friends wisely.
So like looking for long-term friends kind of thing?
Yes.
You're not just choosing the coolest guy because that's he's right here. Oh, cool. No, you're choosing the
Yes.
long-term friends
Yes.
who are going to benefit you in the long run and help
Exactly.
you grow down the line
And
as
be
well,
part
right?
of the dream and the journey. I always tell kids or young adults or adults, look at the journey that you want to be in, and your focus is, or you try to stay focused in that journey and make all the decisions that you need to make in order for you to get to where you want to be. But in that road, in that path, you're going to meet people along the way. So it's up to you to keep them on your road or
Yes.
let them go, And sometimes the jealousy comes into place or the selfishness comes in as well. And you don't want to be around people that are going to be absorbing
Yes.
that energy and filling you up with negativity,
Yes.
right? And I'm always about shining light everywhere you go, radiating that joy.
Yes.
Today in school, my students were finally, it was my class that I get to rotate every 3 weeks, and all of them had the word shine in their writing today.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I almost wanted to cry. I was so touched. I was like, yes. Because, I don't just say shine with Maria Cortez to just say shine. I literally want to shine for my students as well, not just for you guys, my friends, or my kids.
Yes.
But also for my students. And today it was so beautiful to actually see all of them use the word shine in their writing, how they wanted to shine, and choose friends who were shining, and everything had the word shine, and it
Yeah.
was so beautiful.
It's like almost like a snowball effect. You start
Yes.
becoming empowered and positive and happy and radiant,
Yes.
as you say, and you radiate this
Yes.
positivity and stuff for the people that are around you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's like a snowball. It just starts building this
Yes.
momentum of
And it's
greatness,
contagious. It's
Yes,
contagious.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. Lately, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you have all these cool friends that are shining and doing and glowing with doing good things." And I said, "You know what? You're right." And I think this last 7 months, 8 months, it was 7 months actually of my cancer survival journey, but 8 months on the 7th, and even the stuff that I'm posting is a little bit different. And I am so surrounded by so many amazing friends, amazing people, that I feel like I'm on the right path, and my goals, I'm achieving more goals than ever before in this period of 8 months. More than I have ever done in the last 5 years. And
Yeah.
it's all because
Yes.
of my attitude, and because I'm choosing more careful what I'm eating. I'm choosing more careful who I'm hanging out with, and I'm choosing more careful as well how much time I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to let it
Yes.
go. So I think those if you want to change at least with 3 things in your life, start by changing what you're eating, what you're putting in your body. Start surrounding yourself with more positive energy, good friends, and start letting go of your phone and spend more time with real people and real human beings,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I have a question for you guys, and I'm going to
Yes.
start by answering it myself. So the question is, how do you fight those short-term pleasures? Because some of us are literally addicted to that pleasure that you get. It's a spike in the
Yes.
dopamine. Your brain releases, oh, I got a like on my photo. It's literally an addiction
Yes.
because of that. So what I would recommend you do is it's kind of like an addiction to cigarettes. I'm not a professional or anything. I don't know all the perfect solutions to that, but
Yes.
I've heard of cold turkey, right? You just
Yes.
decide one day I'm not gonna be on my phone as much. I want to
Yes.
enjoy my life, and I want to enjoy my family. So what I recommend is writing down, being very honest with yourself, writing down what your addictions are, what you could fix, right?
Yes,
And then maybe
exactly.
every time that you perform that addiction or you do that thing, you put a tally next to it. And you know what that'll do is it'll keep you accountable for doing that kind of thing, and you'll realize, wow, I'm doing it again. You know, just realize, be conscious of that kind of stuff, be aware.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what do you guys do?
How about you, Billy? You go next.
Yeah,
and
what
I'll-
do you guys do to fight the short-term pleasures? of life?
Well, the way I look at it is, first you have to take an honest assessment of your strengths and weaknesses, and then the steps you need to take care of that to be better. And your strong points get stronger, the weak points eliminate. And in the morning, personally, when I wake up, it's like a blank canvas. You have the potential to do whatever you want to do in life. It's up to you. You're in control. Now, you can look at everything positive and everything negative. You X out everything negative. And then you discipline yourself. You take it one day at a time. And over the course, you look at the big picture, but remember, everything starts with one step. And that, if I have anything to say, I'd say, in the morning, every day, it's a blank canvas to decide what you want to be and where you want to go in life.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
beautiful. I love that. For me, what I have found in the last probably 20 years of my life since I became a mom, I had to be super organized in order to be able to have these amazing kids, Alexis and Mark, because it's not easy being a parent, especially it's not easy being a single mom. So for me, I've always been a writer, so I always have to write things down. But I do have routines I do in the morning and routines I do at night. Without my routines, I think I would already have gone crazy. So simple things, let's say for the morning, first thing I want to do is I want to feel like I'm waking up fresh. So I wash my face and I have a particular soap that I like the smell. So I like to wash my face with that particular soap. That just helps me to kind of wake up and refresh. Another thing I do is I do see my phone in the morning for Facebook or social media. I like to think, okay, what quote or what message do I want to share today with an old photo or something? So I do that also in the mornings. And then I try not to be on it all day, and that's how I force myself or I discipline myself to be away from it. And then at night, I will respond to people, and I will then log back in and do my evening social media thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I do things. And then I also, every night before I go to bed, I have to have a bath or a bubble bath. And you know that it's like my routine almost every night. I love it. It forces me to relax, spend time listening to music, quiet moment for me.
You're
because
thinking. You can think.
and
right?
I can think and I can reflect. I can read. So when I go lay down, I can read my journals and I feel so fresh and ready to relax and close my eyes. And because I live such a crazy busy life, because I'm a teacher and I teach art and I'm constantly seeing students and rotating, that really helps me. So it helps me to create these routines that I don't break, but it also helps me kind of stay focused.
Helps you maintain the discipline.
And maintain my discipline, yeah. And without my checklist and list of things that I do, now I do keep them on my phone. There's an app that you have on your smartphones that you can take notes.
It's notes, yeah. It's just
The
called
notes.
notes. I
It's
do
just
that all
called
the time.
notes.
That's
Yeah,
all I use.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And even at church, whenever we go to church or we go to a gathering, I take notes. And I force myself to take notes on everything. If I'm in a training, if I'm at a gathering, whatever that may be, and then I look back at it. And those are the things that help me stay focused and stay positive and not deviate from where I need to go.
So, okay, I want to say one thing. So, do you see how she uses the cell phone as a tool, right? As for social media, for music, for notes. You know, I use my phone for the notes all the time. That's how I'm writing a book, because I have my phone with me at all times, really, so I can write it down. But even this could be, we can disguise the tool thing as, maybe it's an addiction,
Yeah.
but really we're like, oh, I'm using it as a tool. Don't worry about me. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
good point, good
So
point.
be conscious of that as well. Be aware. Are you disguising it? Are you hiding from your problems, really? If you can always use a piece of paper as well. I like the phone because it's faster for me to type rather than write, word for word. But yeah, just be conscious that you're using it as a tool and that you're not actually addicted to the distraction. correct?
Yes.
So,
And is there anything else you want to add? Because we got to say bye. Always time flies by when we're having
Yeah, I
fun.
know,
Is there
we're having
anything
it.
you want to, any message you would like to give to the
Well,
listeners?
I like to say when the positive people in your life is incredible. It's interesting. There are times I've had lunch with you, and I get so much out of seeing what you do with the kids. And when I leave, I'm like, wow. I realize I want to do this. One, because it's, you're thinking, oh, he's bringing me lunch, but I'm also bringing it because it fuels me with so much positive energy.
Aw, thank you.
So I'd like to say, make sure you keep the people that's going to uplift you and drive you forward around you.
Yes. So hang out with people that are eating healthier meals. Hang out with people that are trying to become better human beings. I mean, don't say no to the other people. I'm not. Because sometimes I'm that person that's not eating healthy, so don't stop being my friend. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying let's just all try to be better human beings. Again, bring light to this world because we need more light in this time of negativity. And sometimes even when we voted for somebody that didn't win, you must stay positive, take care of yourself, so you can become the leader and the light that you're looking for and searching for in the world.
Yeah.
So until then, we'll see you next time. And join us next Thursday at 5 o'clock with Shining with Mariela Cortez and Mark Sedgwick.
Adios. Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.